right, today we're going to be learning how to collect hydrogen gas. There you see Miss Erickson. She is the chemistry teacher from East, and I'm the one that is collecting water. That is called a pneumatic trough. Miss Erickson is collecting water in all of the glass vials. In order to collect gas, we have to displace it using water. All of the jars are now filled up, so we have to get them flipped so that they're submerged in water with as little bubbles as possible. So I'm using a glass plate to make sure that I can get the glass bottles on the pneumatic trough without any extra air in them. Glass bottles are all filled. Now we need to measure out our ingredients. We're going to use a scale to measure the magnesium. I'm calibrating the scale right there. I got to use some paper on top of the scale so that I have something to transfer the magnesium into the beaker. I'm going to start by just adding a little bit. Our goal was 2.4 grams, 2.5 grams, so I got pretty close. And again, we're using the magnesium here. It is a metal. And we're dumping it into the Erlenmeyer flask. We're going to use this to react with sulfuric acid to make the hydrogen gas. The tube that's being connected right now allows us to collect the hydrogen gas. That tube is going to sit in the middle of the pneumatic trough where there's that little groove. In that Erlenmeyer flask, you see we have 1 molar sulfuric acid. We're going to pour it slowly, so not all of it at a time. So I'm going to first have to make sure that we're going to get all the oxygen out of the Erlenmeyer flask. So initially we're just going to allow the sulfuric acid to react with the magnesium and push out all of the oxygen. It's hard to see, but you can maybe see that it's making bubbles in the pneumatic trough. That's all oxygen right there. And as you zoom in, you can see that the magnesium and the sulfuric acid are bubbling. It's reacting quite a bit. So now we're going to line up one of the jars. We're presuming all the oxygen has left the Erlenmeyer flask, and now what we have is hydrogen. So you can see we have the end of the tube lined up with the jars. This is called water displacement. So we're collecting hydrogen and displacing all of the water from the jars. And so theoretically, what we should have in those jars is hydrogen gas. We need to do this and fill up I think we made like 5 jars. So we need to go through and react enough sulfuric acid with magnesium to fill all 5 or 6 of those jars. So we're going to keep pouring the sulfuric acid in small amounts. All right. We got all the jars filled. Oh, pardon. We got almost all the jars filled. Look at that good teamwork. We're taking turns. We're communicating. Just a little bit more sulfuric acid. All right. So we're slowly trying to make sure those jars stand upright. There's still some gas coming out. So now we have to get them out of the pneumatic trough without releasing all the hydrogen. So we're going to use those glass plates again and flip them upside down. And we have to keep the glass plate on it so that all the hydrogen gas does not escape. All right, all the jars are flipped.